Hey everyone, Gunny Boy here today with another prop making video. This time I am making a heavy gun. Now I say heavy gun because as of now I don't have a name for this. This is something I came up with just drawing random ideas for stuff I wanted to build, and it's a little small because it has to fit within all this wood. I need to make 3 cutouts of it. It's going to be that thick. The gun needs to be pretty wide, just to complete the feel of the heavy gun and also to have some working parts. Yeah, so here's the design, and let's saw it out and start working on it. Okay guys, so I cut out the first piece of the heavy gun here, as you can see, and so yeah, this is what the first piece should look like. The next 2 are going to layer and stop right here. They're going to layer from here all the way up to here to make it pretty thick, about that big around. So yeah, and then it's going to have an ammo box coming into this hole, and it should have a charging handle here. So then it will be complete after some paint, of course. So let's get to it. The next 2 sides. So now I've got these 2 slats here that I just cut out, which go on the sides of the gun, as you can see here, to bulk it up a bit more, give it a little thicker frame, make it a bit heavier so it actually looks like a heavy gun. So that's what you get so far when you build those 3 pieces. Next, I'm going to cut out this magazine well. This is where the magazine and ammo will go into the gun. I haven't decided whether it's going to be a drum or a box, but it's going to go through this hole. So to make this, I take my cordless drill and I drill 4 holes into the square, making sure to leave room on the edges for 2 reasons. One, when you're drilling like this, you're not always going to get a completely straight down hole. It could go a little bit off to the side, so you want to leave yourself some slack. And 2, when you take a saw blade makes a lot of damage in wood, and you want to leave yourself some slack here so that you don't accidentally saw over the lines. If you stay within the circles and then just shave it a little more with the saw, then you can get a much better result and not break the wood. And as you can see here, I got a very thin line to be careful with. So that might be a little tricky, but it should be possible. There's one rule of thumb when cutting wood of any sort and with anything. You can always take away more, but you can't always add back. This means you should always leave yourself some slack so that if you mess up, it doesn't screw up the project forever. So now you can see I've completed the first part of the cut, the rough part. Now it's not completely smooth and it's a little bit overlapped. So now I'm going to take the saw and very lightly just shave off these extra pieces of wood. Then I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. Alright, so next I checked to see that both sides fit and then traced out the mag well hole onto the right side. And I'll cut out that and the left. So now you can see all 3 pieces now with the holes so they line up perfectly. Next comes some steps that'll seem a little confusing to some people, but I'll explain what I'm doing. I'm making the charging handle for the gun, which will be on the side. To do this, I'm cutting out a very long hole that runs across the top of the middle piece. Make sure it's the middle. This is important. Here you can see that I've cut out the charging handle. It's a standard hook style, which will be pretty comfortable and easy to use. And as you can see here, it's slightly larger than half the length of the slot. This is also important. You want it to be slightly larger, otherwise this will not work. Next, draw out a rectangle half the length of the first one you cut out, and cut it out of the left piece. Now we're going to do a test assembly, just to see if everything works. Lay the right piece down, then put the middle piece over it. Take your little charging handle, put it into this slot, and take the left piece finally, put it over the charging handle and line it up. Now you can see that I have taped up the sides of the gun together with 3 long strips of duct tape. This is not permanent assembly, this is just to test the charging handle. So let's see if it works. Yep, works fine. Here you can see I've cut out a slot where the magazine catch will go. Here you can see I've cut out the lower rectangle, which will serve as the slot for the magazine latch to go through. And here I've cut out the magazine latch. Now, with everything duct taped together once again, I can test the functionality of both levers. And as you can see here, the magazine latch slides back and will slide into the magazine box into a hole of the same shape to hold it together. Then, when you want to take out the magazine, you simply push the latch forward and the box recedes, and you can pull out the magazine. And the cocking handle is unaffected by this in any way. So that's it so far. Next, I glued the 3 layers together with the handles in their proper positions. And yes, this is permanent, so that's the next step. Next, I sawed out a barrel out of steel. Then I sawed a PVC tube for the inner barrel. Here you can see I've hot glued the PVC into the frame. Next, I hot glued the steel pipe around the PVC barrel into the frame. Next, I cut out a cardboard box for the ammo with a slant on this side, just for decoration really, and cut a square where the magazine peg goes here, and just cut an opening in the top where bullets would feed. So the way this works is you push the magazine latch forward, then you take the box, slide it into the gun so that the hole lines up with the magazine catch, and then just pull the magazine catch back. Now the box can't slide out because this holds it still. And there you go. I went back out to my barn and jigsawed some angle cuts in the gun to make it a little more comfortable to hold. Next, I sawed out 2 little blocks to make this part the same width as the rest of the frame. Probably should have done this earlier, but I just didn't think about it until now. Now with these hot glued on, it looks a little better. So you probably noticed that the PVC barrel was the only thing showing that last video. The metal fell off and I had to re-glue it. So yeah, should work now. I cut out a piece of PVC and glued it to the side to act like a little piston on the side of this gun. This is more the spur of the moment thing because the barrel was a little offset to the left, so yeah, but it works. Looks a little bit better. Now I've sanded it a bit more so it's comfortable and ready to move on to some finishing touches and then paint. So here you can see that I've added some masking tape to certain parts of the gun to make it just a bit smoother and to add the lines to some parts like the barrel. So yeah. For the last part of cardboard, I am making a fake red dot sight, which will actually have a clear lens with a dot in the middle. So, making this out of some pieces of cardboard, and I'll show you how. Take a translucent piece of packaging, basically the kind of stuff you see on the front of Hot Wheels cars packaging or whatever, and trace and then cut out the lens that you will put into your frame. Do a test fit and draw the red dot on the lens so you can see how it'll look. Finally, I hot glued the lens inside the frame, took a cap from a water bottle to act as a fake adjustment knob, and patched everything up where it needed with masking tape. Finally, I hot glued the finished sight to the gun. Take a piece of cardboard and fold it over so it's very thick, and then glue it on the left side of the ammo box, right at the line where the magazine latch will go through the ammo box's hole. And this way, when you slam it shut, it'll stay in the position it needs to be, but it won't hinder being pulled back out. Take a small piece of cardboard, wrap it in masking tape, and fold it for a trigger. Then glue it. I cut out 2 pieces of cardboard and put them on the back and front of the lens to cover it well. Now I decided that I was going to do a desert camouflage for this prop, so I've got some Rust-Oleum almond paint, which gives it a more light look. Then I'm going to top that off with some green and then some splotches of brown to make some desert sort of Chaco camo. I painted the ammo box a flat black, and that's pretty much it. Now that I've sprayed the whole thing, it's time to start adding some camouflage spots to it. First, I take a layer of some darker tan, and I'm going to spray the side. Okay everyone, this concludes my tutorial on making the heavy gun that I came up with of my design. I'm just going to step back to show you the silhouette of it. So I came up with a name for this. I call it the M85 Maelstrom. And I wrote that here as markings on the gun. A maelstrom is a violent sort of mini storm of rain in the middle of the ocean. So the idea is that this thing just pumps out a rain of lead wherever you shoot it. So it would use IEPs, in air exploding projectiles, air bursting bullets basically, and holds 20 rounds in this box of 12mm projectiles and fires at about 550 rounds per minute. These are the specifications I came up with it. So there you go. I made the camo a bit better by adding some felt marker lines to it every now and then to break up the pattern and make it a little more desert camo styled. So I painted the bands here black. This is my original plan, so I went back to that. And the grip and this handle at the top were painted black. Made a few markings in the gun, and the red dot sight came out really nicely actually. I'm just very happy with how this came out. So there you go. There is my gun. To reload it, you do this. So a very nice gun for a prop movie or just having it. It's a pretty nice model in my opinion. I like the look of this thing. But I would really like to hear what you guys have to say, so if you could, please drop a comment in the box below. And if you like this video, feel free to like it and subscribe if you'd like to see more of my videos. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.